Alright everybody, welcome to a later day, and today I'm just showcasing a couple of things that I have done with this house. This is really just a test build. It was not intended to be an official build for anything, so this is not going to be going up on any creator studio. It's pretty basic. I was kind of following a basic blueprint I had found online of a old mid-century modern house. And it's not fully exactly that blueprint. I was just taking ideas from the blueprint. So through here, I really just wanted to show parts of the house that I built that I like the best. So this is not one of the ones that I enjoy the most. I didn't take too much time in this room because, again, I was just doing some test builds and just kind of needed a living room. But the kitchen and dining room area are actually kind of where I'm the most proud. The dining room, I didn't actually do too much. I wanted to keep it kind of simple. And this is kind of what it looks like in here. But the kitchen is the area that I'm the most proud of. So as you can see, this is what our kitchen is looking like. I have some interesting lighting going on here. We have some recessed lighting and a couple of interesting things that I've done. I just kind of wanted to play with some stuff. So if we come forward, you can see that this is actually a bar counter here. And there's a separate set of kitchen cabinets behind it. So this isn't actually accessible from the other side, obviously. But I still wanted it to be kind of inviting and sort of like kind of cute. And we kind of put the baby high chair here, not simply for a lack of room, but because I thought it would be kind of better to have the baby in a position where they're more easily accessible from various points of the two spaces. And over here, as we go in, this is our kitchen. Now the kitchen, I did something very interesting, as you can see here. I have these Talavera tiles. These are actually pieces that I took from a picture from an actual piece of Talavera, put it in the craft, and then I flattened it. And I'll show you here in a second exactly what I mean. And this took a bit of time because you have to do this all by hand, so it was kind of like laying in actual tile work. I could not get any of the Talavera pieces to go right in here. It's just too small and the window won't allow it to happen, so I kind of hid them with these two jars. It's not a perfect hiding spot, but it works. And you could kind of see there for a second when I shifted. So this is what they look like up close, and you can see the wall here and how it actually has a curve to it, almost like a plate. So they're not actually like as super flush to the wall as they appear to be when you see them like this. I went into crafting, and you can see it. This is the piece, Talavera tile. This is what it looks like. What you can do is as you turn it, you can see how it's absolutely not flat, the way it curves. But that's all that is. And I didn't do the full room. It all stops right here, just about there. So it's hidden in that wall. But if I come back over, you can see how this all lays down. So it's all set inside the wall. This piece comes out a bit, but you don't see it when we go this way. So it works out perfectly. And it's just like layering anything else, just like layering these plants here. You can see that these are potted plants. There's a light in here. But that's how I did a Talavera kitchen. So in order to get your Talavera piece, you do need an actual piece to actually work with. So we'll go to the 3D printer real quick. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it took away the pea gravel. This is actually a picture of a paver stone. So there it is. Okay. Alright, well that's interesting, at least. We'll have to work with this a little bit more. But you can kind of see that you can actually take pieces of things, like Talavera. You can make tiles out of them. And you can lay tiles. You'll have to work with it and be finicky with it for a little while. And it does take time. This took a lot more time than I wanted it to, but you know, it works. And it would be nice if we would be able... if the system would be able to let us like lay something down and then use certain controls to sort of like link them together. So it understands that there's like 3 or 2 or 4 pieces linked together, and then you could just copy them and go down that way. That would be perfect in my opinion. The next area that we're going to go to is we're going to come around and we're going to change the lighting a bit here. So as you can see here, this is our back area, our backyard. And these are just a bunch of different flowers that I have laid in here along with some lighting. You'll see that here in a second. I also laid down these benches, overlapped them to make a nice little space. We also added in the lighting. You can see that it's actually attached here in these two spots. And so that at night, it looks pretty nice. And then we have this little forested backdrop back here. I sort of hid away the kids area, made it a little bit more magical. Added in these little sort of fairy light type of things. All to get the following effect. And this is the effect that we get. Which I absolutely love. So you can see the way their lighting is all throughout here. By adding in all these different types of flowers at different heights and colors, it adds interest. It's not just boring. Obviously, I could have scooted these two pieces together, but you can easily hide that by extending the bench, or you can just, like, you know, fiddle with it and make it better. And then, of course, there's our lighting. I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. And then, of course, our little hidden fort. The fort is probably one of my favorite things. I kind of came up with it a little while ago, and I've just kind of been playing with it ever since. My characters don't have any little children's to play in this area just yet, but it would be nice to have more outdoor kids objects for them to play on. Including like actual things like little doll houses, or not doll houses in terms of like physical dolls, but like, you know, play houses would be kind of cool. But I do have an idea that I kind of want to play with for things like creating a playhouse. I don't know how well it's going to work. I'll have to do testing on that. So just like this video, I was doing testing for different videos or different stuff that I could do with this build. It wasn't really a serious build. I do want to play with some more ideas that I've had that I would like to accomplish. And then you can see I've layered up a couple of things here. Nothing too crazy. It is actually kind of dark over here, so I do need to, if I rebuild this house better, it does need to be better built up. So you can see it's a little bit bare right there. I definitely need to fix that. I thought I had it, but... And then you can see the rest of this here. This all works together to create kind of a really nice effect. I like it. And then, of course, I scattered these in sort of like a half circle shape. Kind of takes on the shape that is present in the door with the sun, and I like that. But it's in a different direction. And then, of course, we come down. I got this little area. Would be a cute little breakfast nook. It's a little dark, a little bit cozy. Got some plants. And this is like the illusion of stairs, but it's not really stairs, obviously. But I kind of put the lights at as close to different heights as I could get them to be, to kind of create the idea that, you know, you might be stepping down. I still just don't like the way the patios and stuff like that works. It's just not the effect I'm going for right now. So I still need to kind of figure those out. All right, and then we have the upper balcony, which there's not a lot going on up here. I didn't want there to be. Come down. This is the kids' room. You can see outside. Some of my other creations. Back out. This is the other bathroom. So it's not perfect. You can see that I've been playing with patterns and stuff like that, and these didn't quite line up the way I wanted them to. But if done just right, you know, you can kind of hide that. And then we have the playroom, which I forgot that I extended, so I need to push those back. Through here is the master. Nothing special. The bathroom, I enjoy. This actually was inspired by a TikTok video. So you can see I repeated the Talavera here, the way it's supposed to look. So you can see that. And this was, like I mentioned, inspired by a TikTok video of a girl who was doing her grandmother's bathroom, I believe. And so she had a look like this on the walls, but right now we can't do walls like that. Like, I really wanted to be able to take this blue part and do like a wainscoting down below. I believe it's called a wainscot, where it's like half, like a half wall where you can do wallpaper up top and like a paint down below. So I tried to bring in the blue in other ways to do a similar look that she had going. And then of course I added in these. And again, it doesn't match up perfectly in some spots, but I don't mind it. So while this build is not perfect and was not intended to be perfect, I had fun figuring out different ways that I could do things. Nothing too obviously spectacular yet, but it is, like I mentioned, the kitchen is the one I'm most proud of. And I'm definitely going to repeat this look again, but I think I want to put it in a house that it's better off in. So what do you guys think of this whole Talavera thing? I think everybody should try to do this at least once for their builds. You can add much more interesting things. I would like to be able to figure out how to do the faux wainscoting that I was mentioning with the crafting section, but I don't know quite how to do it just yet. We'll see how it goes. I'll be playing with that to try to figure that out. And hopefully, anyway, would you do this look in your own kitchens? Let me know.